Hello and welcome to the fourth part of my conversation with the co-founder of RoboQuant, Mr. Tim Hutter. And today we are going to discuss manual trading versus AI assisted trading. So make sure you subscribe, and without further ado, let's get started. All right. So the next section is manual trading versus the AI trading. So uh, do you think like the future is manual trading versus algo trading, or is it manual trading plus AI?
Well, that's already a reality now. You have to understand that I think over 70%, even before AI came around, already 70% of all trades worldwide have been executed by algorithms. So it was always more algorithms than manual traders. Now AI, I mean, it's been here for a few years, but this will I mean, I know that probably like some analysts they use AI, but agentic trading, like fully AI based trading, that's still very new, maybe 1 or 2 years. Um, I have tried it. Not, I haven't made really good experiences because I've seen that even these AI models, they just come up with all the right reasoning and stuff, but they break their own rules. They also seem to get emotional. Yeah. So,
I mean, they are learning from humans, so
yeah, yeah.
right. So, do you think humans are like human trading, basically manual trading, is better than algo trading or AI trading?
um, I would say, okay, we see it with our community, on RoboQuant, we have this webhook connector where people can connect their trading view strategies to their futures account. You know the stats in trading, 95% would ever lose money. Now, we can see in the back end, like how many percent of traders are profitable, like the win rate and stuff. And I think over 60 something or 70% of our users are profitable. They're all using automated strategies. Overall, a 54% win rate something. So this shows that, I mean, this doesn't show, maybe it doesn't show like the whole planet, all traders, but still we have quite a good sample size to see that as a trader, you're much more likely to succeed with automated trading than manual trading.
Right. So, do you think that every serious trader in the next few years, serious trader, I mean that who is already consistent, who is already following the rules, you know, in the next few years, they will need to understand some of the backtesting or automation or like work on that.
It's hard to say. The question is, like, as a trader, as a manual trader, everyone who starts, I said this previously once that also me, I thought once I'm there, I have arrived, I'm now there, I have the skill. No, you have to maintain the skill. And the question is, maybe you're going to have a child or stuff in your personal life changes, and you don't have this focus anymore. Then automation can help you. The question is really how long can you guarantee, even if you have a good strategy, you can control your mind and all this stuff. How long do you believe or can you guarantee that you can keep performing like this?
Yeah.
Doesn't even have to do with the market, but yourself. So of course it will not harm anyone. Think about automation, at least automating a part of it.
All right. So I also think that with this, right, I think AI is not going to replace the discipline for the traders. I think it's just going to reduce a lot of guesswork from the manual trading. And I think the discipline is still that even after, if you just, as you said, if you have something in your personal life and you just let the bot run for a while instead of just manually executing the trades, when you still look at the PNL, you would see that okay, if the bot has generated, let's say there is a losing streak, and so the discipline comes in right there, because you also need the bot to just run for a while, because the losing streak is there, but you also need to follow your rules. So even then, I think the discipline will play a huge role.
Absolutely.
So this section is about the people who are basically the traders who are like just beginning their journey, and we will have a few questions from their POV, and we'll see how we can help them. All right. So if a beginner is just wants to start using AI, and they're just they're still a beginner, uh, AI or backtesting, using the RoboQuant chatbot in trading, what should they do first? Like, what is the prerequisites for them?
So the question is obviously, does the trader have a strategy or not? But for every beginner trader, I have some other recommendations. First of all, I recommend don't buy these expensive trading mentorships. All the content is for free on YouTube. And then I just recommend, that's what I believe makes the most sense, focus on indices because they generally they go up and they have very specific session times where they're being traded, where's the most volume. So you have you have an overall bias, which is bullish. Doesn't mean it's everyday bullish, but you have this as a general idea. You have the overall trend, and you have a very specific time where the market moves. So this should be the foundation of every strategy. And then I still recommend look at the chart. Look what is happening every day during this specific time window. Come up with a strategy, or just take a strategy that seems to work for someone else, any influencer or whatever, and code it. Just explain this strategy to the AI. We also have a function you can just copy paste the YouTube video link. It's gonna code the strategy. If it's well explained, it's gonna work. Sometimes you have to fix some things, but that's basically what I recommend. And in general, I would recommend starting with an opening range breakout strategy. It's so easy to understand, it's profitable, and easy to modify to make it even more profitable.
Right. Should they start? Should they start, building the strategy, with like complicated rules, or should they have like a simple rule-based strategy? So let me actually restructure the question. Should they be a lot, because I've seen a lot of beginner traders, they use a lot of indicators basically. So should they have a more indicator-based approach or more charting-based approach? Yeah.
Okay, there are two types of indicators. When most people in the here indicator, they think about RSI, EMA, Bollinger Bands. They just show, it's just a formula to display price in another way. I've never seen really profitable strategies based on these indicators, but what I recommend is turning a concept into an indicator. It can be a breakout, can be a special candle formation, an FU candle, whatever, or fair value gap, whatever it is, you create an indicator for this, helps you back testing even manually. That's what I do very often. And so the strategy is based on a price action concept that you visualize as an indicator. It's probably too confusing, but look, I'm going to share my screen to show how simple it can be.
Yeah, sure.
Just need to make sure I'm sharing the right one. All right. So as a beginner trader, you have, let's say you want to get into automation. You don't even have a strategy. You can just go here to templates. We have coded so many strategies. Many of them are based on influencers. I recommend just taking these templates, putting them on the chart, looking at the performance. You're going to see many of these ICT strategies, they don't perform as well. And you're going to see some opening range breakout strategies that perform incredibly well. Here you have a foundation, and then just watch it and think of a way to make it even better. Most of them very basic, but that's a really good starting point. You have plenty of strategies to choose from.
All right. So these are basically like the set rules and strategies that you can basically just take the concept from. And if you want to, you can use them on your personal, whatever asset that you are trading, or that you can just see if it needs any changes according to your rules.
Yes, absolutely. So here, for example, is a template of the opening range breakout. That's a strategy that is proven to work over a long period of time. It's extremely simple. You just have the opening range visualized with these lines. And then when you have the confirmation, it takes a trade, trades a breakout. You see, it's so simple, so basic, and you can make it better by tweaking some things, the settings, or having another confirmation, or only trading on specific days. That's what I recommend.
That's actually very useful because someone who doesn't have any idea where to start from, I think this is because the people who are just starting to beginning their trading journey, I think they have too many options and too many strategies to choose from. So I think it becomes very difficult to actually stick to something. So I think this will help them, give them an idea that okay, most of the strategies that you see, they are based on the same type of rule. They are based on the same type of, similar concept. So I think this filters out a lot of strategies for them. What would your ideal workflow be for someone who is using RoboQuant for the first time?
Go to the dashboard, watch the tutorials. I know no one wants to watch them, but that's what I recommend.
Hmm.
Um, if you don't want to, I mean, it's quite simple. You just go to template, you pick a template. Either you're gonna add it to the chart, or you open it with the AI chat. You can ask the chatbot. You can ask the chatbot how this strategy works and if it has ideas to improve it. Honestly, I recommend watching the tutorials, putting this stuff on the chart, and just using your brain. Your brain combined with AI, that's very powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, so I think the ideal workflow would also be like some just to add on what you said, is to basically look at the templates to have an idea, just to have a clear rule based idea, just to use the chatbot with that, just explain your idea to that, and it will generate the bind script. Then you run that on TradingView, and you look at the backtesting results, and you improve wherever you think you need work, and that's
Mhm.
it. Then you can either do forward testing with that, or you can either do uh, you know uh, use your prop firm account or real money to start testing the strategy.
Absolutely. So the thing is, um, there are so many functions. There are different. Like first, you have to develop the strategy. Then you have to put it on the chart. You have to back test it. Maybe you have to fix it. Then you have to optimize it. You have to forward test it, and only then you would deploy it. And for every single step of this workflow, there's actually a tutorial where we show all the tools that you can use to complete this step. It would be too long to explain it here, but honestly, when you watch tutorials, we guide you through the whole entire process.
All right. So the next section is basically personal experience based. When I used RoboQuant for the first time to test my own strategies, I noticed that it gave me my biggest benefit. Basically, it gave me a lot of clarity. So was that intended with building the product, or did that happen, like while building it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think this is quite natural that this happens when you get into this process or into this topic, like of automating. Even if you would use ChatGPT or any other software to build it, it forces you to really think about your strategy. What exactly is your strategy? What are the exact rules? How do you define them? So it's natural that this happens, and it's a very important part, obviously.
Right. So do you think the RoboQuant is more about creating strategies, or is it more about helping traders think in a more structured way?
Um, Both. So at the beginning, everything was strategy focused. Um, Assuming that people have a strategy and now they just want to automate it. But we have extended, like we have added many more functions. So we also have been working hard on a new version, which will just cover everything. So having all the tools to develop a profitable strategy, having all the tools to properly backtest, validate it, and also being able to deploy it. So covering all angles for doesn't matter if it's a very experienced algo trader or someone that just starts learning about this.
All right. For me, my personal experience basically with RoboQuant, it did not replace my trading experience. Like it just basically helped me test it, and I think that's the biggest. I think that's the biggest advantage, or that's the biggest difference, basically. That
Mhm.
it doesn't take away the experience that you want of trading. It just gives you like a better, like a clearer idea. So that was the fourth part, guys, and the fifth and the final part will be out soon. So as always, thank you for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.